Hey guys, it's Laurie. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy my projects and have a happy Halloween. I'm starting my first project with the wooden Dollar Tree pumpkin. I'm making this for a friend and she requested shades of blue. I used this pretty blue acrylic paint and I painted both sides. When it dried, I accented the pumpkin by blending some darker blue and white paint. I didn't have any formal plans on how to paint this. I just kind of thought about the lines on a pumpkin, and then I just used my paintbrush to accent them. I was also asked to somehow add a hint of Halloween into the project, but not make it permanent. To me, a blue pumpkin definitely doesn't scream Halloween, so I tried to keep with the blue theme and I made a bow with navy blue and some navy blue and white polka dot ribbon. For anyone that follows me, you know I'm asking Santa to bring me a bow maker, but to make this bow, until I get my bow maker, I'm just going old school. If you're interested in learning how I made this bow, I will link some of my older instructional videos below. With my bow complete, I just used my hot glue gun and I covered the pumpkin stem. I painted 3 Dollar Tree pumpkins with the matching blue paint. When they were dry, I hot glued all 3 of them onto the ribbon. I then added a few sprigs of ivy that I had on hand, and I thought they kind of mimicked the tendrils that you see on a pumpkin. For my pumpkin stem, I added an old piece of flat driftwood to the top. I painted the Dollar Tree welcome a dark blue to match my ribbon. Once it dried, I used my E6000 and attached it to the pumpkin. To add my little hint of Halloween, I painted one of the skeletons to match the pumpkin. I slipped him into the bow, and once Halloween is over, he can be removed and the pumpkin used for Thanksgiving. Definitely not a traditional piece of Halloween decor, but I think it works. My second project is super easy to make. I'm using 3 of the Dollar Tree wooden ghosts and I just snapped them from the base. Once I was done, I used a piece of sandpaper and I filed down the rough edges. From there, I just used my white acrylic paint and I painted them on both sides. Once they're dry, I'm using my pencil to outline the ghosts and highlight their outer body, their eyes, and their mouth. I'm not even being neat while I'm doing this. I'm just kind of adding the pencil, and then to soften it, I just rub my finger all around the edges, and it kind of just leaves a little gray glow. This has to be the easiest project, so once the ghosts are done, I'm using the glass cylinder from the Dollar Tree along with their 2-sided sticky tape. I made sure that there was no residue on the glass, and I just added some sticky tape to the back of each of my ghosts, and then I just attached them to the glass. I'm using some of this black Dollar Tree tulle, and I think any Halloween color would look really pretty. And all I'm doing is wrapping it around the center of the ghosts. Once I have it in place and I'm not even gluing it, I'm just going to tie it off in a bow and cut away the extra tulle. I found these felt witch hat stickers at the Dollar Tree, and they actually came with some little matching witch boots. I thought that I would give each of the ghosts a hat and it would be a cute accent. To finish up my super easy project, I'm using some of the white sand from the Dollar Tree. My candle's not tall enough, so this helped to raise the center. Most of you know my husband's a firefighter, so I try to stay away from live flames, and I'm using this LED Dollar Tree candle. This was such a fun and easy Halloween project, and the best part is it's safe to use in your home. For my third project, I'm making some candy corn from reclaimed wood. I pulled these from my kindling bin. I cut them at 6, 8, and 10 inches, and I rounded off the edges. I picked out some yellow, orange, and white acrylic paint. I didn't measure the sections out, I just kind of eyeballed them, and I started at the bottom with my yellow paint. Once my yellow was done, I then moved on to the orange. If you don't have access to any wood, you can always try using the bike cones that they sell in the toy department at Dollar Tree. I think by removing the bottom support, they will paint up like candy corn. And to finish up my painting, I just added the white to the tops. I think they look really cute as is, but I'm going to add on some ribbon accents. I'm using these 2 Dollar Tree ribbons. I cut a piece of ribbon that I could center between the white and the orange, and then using my glue gun, I hot glued it into place. Then using the same ribbon, I made a simple bow and I hot glued it onto the side. I decided to use my black and white polka dot ribbon for my 8-inch candy corn. I matched my tallest and my smallest with the same ribbon, and adding the ribbon is completely optional. I had bought these little rodents from the Dollar Tree and I had no idea what I was going to do with them. I thought to myself, if they were real, they probably would eat candy corn, and then I'm kind of weird, so I thought, well, maybe they'd eat too much and they'd turn into candy corn, and there was my inspiration for painting them. To finish up this project, all I needed to do was stage the mice with the candy corn. This was so fun and easy to make, and I have some little friends that will have so much fun moving these mice around. To make my final project, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree witch hats and a floral ring. I'll be sliding the finished ring over the hat, so if you don't get it at the Dollar Tree, just make sure that it will fit. Dollar Tree is really stepping up its game with the florals, so I kind of decided my color scheme, and then I grabbed a handful. I wanted to make the centerpiece a little creepy, so I made sure to get 2 of the roses with the eyeballs. I cut all my flowers away from the main stem and left about a 2-inch stem on each. My purple flowers are my base flowers, so I just started to place them evenly around the ring. Once I was done, I started placing my black flowers, and I made sure to put the 2 roses with the eyeballs next to each other. Once my black flowers were in place, I then added in my purple and my green berries. The other flowers I could just push into the ring, but the berries needed to be hot glued into place. One of the fun things about this project is you don't have to use the same flowers that I used. You can pick your own Halloween colors, and you can just even use things that you already have on hand. I then added the leaves from the pumpkin stems, and I just put them here and there to fill in some of the empty spaces. I then took the pumpkins that were on the stem and I evenly hot glued them around the ring. Here and there on the ring there are some empty spaces, so I'm going to use some of the black Dollar Tree mesh and make some curls. I don't need much, so I'm cutting my chenille stems into 3 pieces. I'm not measuring my mesh, but I'm guessing it's about 6 inches. Once it's cut, I just roll it into a little curl and tie it off with my chenille stem. When I was done, I had made about 10 and I hot glued them into all the little open spaces. My black bouquet came with 2 spiders and some random black type branches, so not to let anything go to waste, I'm just going to hot glue them around the ring. If you don't have any of these, you can always paint some black twigs and that would work great too. The witch hat stands up pretty good on its own, but I'm going to stuff it with some fill just to kind of help it out a bit. And if you don't have any fill on hand, you can always use some paper towels or an old sock or just anything you have lying around. To give this witch a little style, I'm going to use the same black tulle that I used for my ghost candle, and I'm going to make a simple bow. Putting this together is as simple as slipping the ring over the top of the hat. I added a little hot glue to the point and then I attached the bow. I finished off the centerpiece by adding one of the sparkly spiders onto the bow. And with that, my witch hat centerpiece is complete. I absolutely love the way it came out. I think it's like a gothic glam, and I can't wait to display this for Halloween. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed my projects. If you're new and you're like, hey, I think I'd like to come back and hang out with her again, don't forget to click that little red subscribe button below. I'll see you soon. Bye everyone and happy Halloween.